Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you one of my new go-to neutral looks, so just keep on watching. Okay, so I have already gone in with my Nivea Men's Post Shave Balm to moisturize and prime my skin. And I've also gone in and done my eyebrows just to save a little time. And I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Pomade and Pencil in Taupe. So I'm going to go in now with my NYX Photogenic Green Concealer to cover up the redness that you're seeing that my skin has been so kind lately to do for me. And just give my skin a little extra coverage and try to get rid of some of those more pesky red spots. There's really no technique to this. I'm just kind of spreading it around the general area. So I like to mix foundations. I always have. I probably always will. I feel like it just kind of gives me the color that I'm looking for and just kind of the texture as well. So I'm going in with the L'Oreal True Match in W3 and the Milani Perfect and Conceal Foundation in 03. To blend everything out, I'm going to be using a damp beauty blender by Real Techniques. Just make sure if you do choose to use green concealer to cancel out any redness, you really blend those out so that you don't have green spots on your face. So for underneath my eyes, I'm going to be using the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer. I believe it is in Fair Light. And then I'm going to also go in with my NYX Photogenic Concealer again in Fair, just to give a little bit of extra coverage and just make sure that everything is nice and highlighted underneath my eye. On top of underneath my eye, I also put it on the bridge of my nose, kind of make a fun little pattern on the top of my forehead and my chin. And then going back in with that same beauty blender and just blending everything out. Again, you just want to make sure that everything is completely blended before you move forward to make sure that there's no lines or any obvious marks. To bake my under eye, I'm going to be using my super powdery airbrush powder. And I'm just going to use the beauty blender to kind of pop on the powder underneath my eye and just any spots that I'm worried about creasing or moving throughout the day, such as my smile lines, the top of my forehead. Pretty much anywhere that you just place that concealer is what I'm trying to bake. And it's just going to help it last a little bit longer and not crease quite as quickly. After probably, I don't know, 3 to 5 minutes or so, if you have something you can do instead, go for it. But I just kind of take that time to sit there. And then I just use a small Real Techniques brush and just kind of lightly buff away any extra powder. Most of it will sink into your skin and just kind of mix with your foundation. But the leftover, you want to make sure you wipe away or you're going to have patches of white powder on your face all day long. So to go in and set the rest of my face, I'm going to be using my Laura Mercier translucent powder. As you can see, I used way too much powder. I didn't realize how much the brush had picked up, and I've already ruined my shirt for the day. But my tip with putting powder on to set your face is to tap it in first and then swirl it. I feel like if you just instantly go in and start swirling powder around on semi-wet foundation, you're going to ruin the foundation you just put on, and you're just going to swirl it around and have it be a cakey mess. For my eyes, I'm just going to go in with an eyeshadow primer by Essence and just dab it in very lightly with my ring finger to make sure that it's prepped for eyeshadow. So for my look today, I did use all shadows from the Morphe 350 palette, so I apologize if you don't have it, but you can really use any colors that are similar to these that you can find from almost any line. So the first color that I'm going in with is a burnt orange, kind of just a warm transition color, just so I can kind of map out exactly where I want the rest of the colors to go. With having hooded eyelids, it's very hard for me to do like a smoky look because when I open my eye, half my lid is already gone. So on top of that warm burnt orange shade, I'm going to go in with just a tad bit of a darker brown, and that's just going to create a little bit of dimension just right there in the crease. But I'm also going to blend it up just so it can go and kind of blend with that orange as well. So next I went in with another shadow from the Morphe 350 palette, and I sprayed my brush with the MAC Fix Plus before I grabbed the product from the palette, and that just kind of helps everything look a little bit more foiled. So if I wouldn't have sprayed my brush with that Fix Plus, this would not look as shimmery and kind of sparkly as it does, and that just kind of helps it, like I said, give it a little bit more of a glisten. So last I'm going to go in with just a darker deep brown, and I'm just going to place that in the outer V of my eye just to give it a little bit more dimension than it already has. And I'm also not going to be using any eyeliner in this look, so I really want to make sure that my eyes kind of aren't looking too pale or boring. I wanted to make sure that there was a good amount of color and just dimension, so I didn't need that eyeliner in place of it. On my inner corner, I'm just going in with a very light pink champagne-y type color. Doing this is going to help your eyes look more open and brighter. Okay, so now that I have both eyes finished, I'm going to go in using my MAC Give Me Sun bronzer and just kind of warm up my cheeks. Like I've mentioned before, I'm not a huge person with contouring, but I want to definitely make sure that I kind of even out my face and just as my eyes give it a little bit of dimension. And I feel like placing bronzer in the spots that you're seeing me place them, up on my temples, middle of my forehead, underneath my cheeks, just kind of helps me achieve that look that I'm going for. So I don't normally do this. This is probably actually the only third or fourth time I've done it, but I've been trying to practice contouring my nose, and I'm just using that same MAC Give Me Sun bronzer to just kind of almost carve out an extra, well, I shouldn't say an extra, I do have a nose bone, but just kind of carve out the bottom of my nose and on the sides to make it look a little bit more narrow. But again, this is totally optional. I don't normally do this. I just kind of did it for fun. For blush, I'm just going in with one of my favorites. It's by Milani. It's called Romantic Rose, and it's just a very pretty pink matte color that blends out very well. And then for my highlighter, I'll be going in with my ColourPop, of course, Smoke and Whistles. And again, you just want to place the highlighter in any places of your face that you want to highlight or appear lifted. So I'm going to be placing that on my upper cheekbone, tip of my nose, on the bridge of my nose, and maybe just a little bit on my forehead and chin. Again, just to make sure that everything is put together and you don't have splotches of color in random places. It kind of all blends together. I'm actually going to go in with another highlighter on top of that. You've seen me use this before. It's the Wet n Wild Fergie collection in Champagne Rose Glow. And that's again just to give it a little bit more of a glowy look, which I was going for. And then you want to blend, blend, blend. I cannot stress this enough. When you are finished putting your face products on, or even your eye products as you saw me before, blend everything out. That's how you achieve that flawless look. If you don't, you're gonna see harsh lines. So to complete my eyes, I'm gonna go in and just use a small Morphe shaded brush, and I'm gonna use the same darker brown color that I put on the outer V of my eyes and just kind of smoke out the lower lash a little bit. So I decided to do a little bit of a wing with my eyeliner. I am not going to do my whole eye. I'm literally just doing a very small wing on the outer tips. And that just kind of helps my eyes open up. Like I mentioned, I have hooded lids. So I feel like if I don't have anything there, I just kind of feel, I don't know, I feel like I'm naked without it. I need a little wing. For mascara, I believe I'm just using the L'Oreal Voluminous Mascara in Blackest Black. And I'm just going to go in and coat them very heavily, again, because I'm not wearing eyeliner, so I really want my lashes to stand out. For lips, I'll be going in with my Maybelline lipstick. I believe it's the number 700. I never typically pre-plan the color that goes on my lips. I usually just stick with a nude. Shocker. But in person, actually, this lipstick matched my eyes almost identically. And last but not least, I'll be going in with my Urban Decay The Slick Setting Spray, again, just to make sure that my makeup doesn't smudge or crease throughout the night. And after that, that is it. That is my complete new go-to neutral look. Like I said, it's just pretty warm and bronzy. So if you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and I hope I will see you guys again soon. Bye.